Okay, on page 71, there is a whole section on perspective taking. One important element of social cognition is perspective taking, looking at the world from other people's viewpoints. It's probably one of the hardest things that children have to learn to do. In childhood, if you look on page 72, consistent with what we know about cognitive development, young children tend to focus on other people's concrete observable characteristics and behaviors. As early as age 4 or 5, they realize that what they know may be different from that other people know. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty early age. They also have some ability to make inferences about other people's mental and emotional states. For instance, to deduce the people who behave in certain ways have certain intentions or feelings. As children progress through the elementary grades, they also begin to understand that people's actions don't always reflect their thoughts and feelings. For instance, that someone who appears to be happy may actually feel sad. So that is then the childhood. That's pretty observant and a strong perspective taking already early on. Then we move to early adolescence. Most young adolescents realize that people can have mixed feelings about events and other individuals. They focus primarily about one's own perspective. It's a common phenomenon in the early adolescent years. It's all about me, and I'm sad, and I don't look good, and my clothes look shabby, and my boyfriend left me, and my friends aren't treating me good. Those kind of things. Then we move to late adolescence. And in the high school years, teenagers draw on a rich body of knowledge derived from numerous social experiences. By this time, they've had an opportunity to attend some dances and mature. Consequently, they become even more skillful at drawing inferences about people's psychological characteristics, intentions, and needs. In addition, they're more attuned to the complex dynamics that influence behavior, not only thoughts, feelings, and present circumstances, but also past experiences. What we see emerging in the high school years then is a building psychologist, an individual who can be quite astute in deciphering and explaining the motives and actions of others. Now, this is late adolescence, so they have matured quite a bit and just learn from the right things and doing the right things and doing the wrong things, saying the right things, saying the wrong things. Guys, you probably have more of a difficult time than we ladies do, because you're constantly trying to read the ladies. And there's a book out that women are from Venus, men are from Mars, or vice versa. Anyway, it talks about how what we say we don't necessarily mean. You have to read between the lines. Do you want to go out and eat today? No, that's okay, we say. We don't have the money. And you say, well, okay, are you sure? Yeah, we don't have the money. And then we don't go. And then we ladies are upset because what we really were saying, yes, we want to go, say yes, but the whole time we're saying no. So I feel for you guys. All right, promoting perspective taking. One strategy would be to talk frequently about people's thoughts, feelings, and motives. In the process, we must, of course, use age-appropriate language. We need to give our students an opportunity to do this perspective taking. Another important strategy is to take advantage of situations in which people have diverse perspectives and beliefs about the situation. For example, in times of disagreement or conflict, students and teachers alike benefit from putting themselves in the other party's shoes. I have a teacher friend who actually, they would have what he called court at the end of every day. And if there had been any misunderstandings and frustrations, then the students got to explain themselves in this court in the afternoon. Opportunities for perspective taking also arise in lessons about academic subject matter. For example, in discussions of current events, teachers might have different students or using the internet, different classrooms take different countries' perspectives as they explore significant world problems such as climate change or arms control. All kinds of good stuff out there now that perspective taking. And election year is another great time to have lots of activities you could use for perspective taking. Just any news items, any school news items, even any classroom something in the classroom, maybe everybody's trying to decide, do we do this or do we do that? That's another, trying to get each other to see each other's side and then prove their point. So much learning can happen during those times. You need to be having some perspective taking strategies in mind as you go forward in your education. How are you going to teach your children, your students, to have to take this perspective taking? It's going to be interesting to see. It may be one of the most difficult things you face. Notice I said one of the most.